Blog Talk Radio.
What up, though? It's your boy, Willie Styles. Welcome to GFT Radio Show. Hope everyone is having a good evening. We're going to get right into an exciting show, and I hope you guys are ready for this. Today's date is May 9th, 2019. Make sure you check us out on the web at gftradioshow.com, and you can get at us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at GFT_radio, and on Facebook on GFT Radio Show as well. So, Clint, that you over there?
Yes, sir. What's going on, good people? It's your boy Clint. You already know what it is. Got a good show lined up for y'all tonight.
Yes. So, I also want to make sure I shout out Sunny. She's unfortunately not going to be able to join us immediately. She said she may try to call in later, but she's got some big things going on. So, definitely want her to take care
shout
of
out to Sunny.
take care of things that she got going on. Yeah, make sure she has that in mind. We will hold down the fort in the meantime. Let me also make sure. Yes, sir. Let me also make sure I also say to make sure you check out our merchandise. You can get our merchandise at teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Help us support us while we support you. We do this show for the people, and your purchases help to fund the show. Help the show keep going, as well as helps us in other endeavors. We got a lot of big plans, charity work and other kind of things that we want to do for the community, especially in the Greater Trenton area. We love everyone everywhere, but we definitely want to make sure that we give back, where we live. Clinton, Sunny are out there. I'm in Detroit. I'm always doing what I can in the community out here as well. So, this just helps us, keep things going. So, and then, us as black people, we want to be sure, we love all races and all people, but, we definitely want to help our community and our people, prosper, and we're here for to educate and to uplift, as well as sometimes entertain as well. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to entertain. We're going to bring y'all, and before we get started, like everybody else, we got to say it's going to be spoilers. We're going to spoil the hell out of these shows tonight.
Yes.
Right? So we're talking Avengers Endgame. We're talking Game of Thrones. I think we're going to try to focus on Game of Thrones episode 3, season 8, episode 3. We're going to, probably dip into episode 4 as well a little bit. And but like I said, we're going to be also talking not only our ratings, our feelings, but also our outlook on what we think is going to happen in the Game of Thrones universe in these last few episodes, as well as the future of Marvel and the MCU. So hopefully everyone's going to enjoy this show. Clint, both of us, I think we've always been heavy into the Avengers stuff, into the comic book movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you just kind of got started with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Give me some quick background on your feelings about Game of Thrones as a newbie. I think you said you've only watched about 5 or 6 episodes so far.
Yeah, not too many episodes, but I got a grasp of what's going on, so to speak. First I'd like to say, Sonny and Willie been trying to get me to get on Game of Thrones forever. You understand? I've been reluctant. I've been very reluctant. I'm like, it's just not, when I first tried to watch it, just wasn't my speed. It took me, like the accent, I'm like, all right, I don't know how long I do this. They had the dragons and all this. I'm like, come on now. You feel me?
Right.
But I gotta admit, it's an interesting show. It ain't it ain't as bad as I thought it was, and so I definitely was sleeping on it. I definitely was sleeping on it. Now this particular episode, what really drew me into the episode 3, because episode 4 dropped. Only watched part of that. I got to be honest. I ain't finished watching episode 4 yet. But the episode 3, what really brought me to it, because it was like it's about to be the longest battle scene in TV or movie history. So I'm like, well, damn, you know what I mean? Let me check it out, see what it was hitting for. And I gotta say, it didn't disappoint at all from the very beginning. You feel me? From the very beginning to the very end, it did not disappoint at all.
Right.
Now I don't know how y'all, you feel me, from the you know, I thought it was hilarious. You know, the beginning, she lit the like you said, spoiler alert. So if y'all ain't see it, you know what I mean, y'all super late, because episode 4 already dropped. So, you know what I mean, y'all should already be in tune with episode 3.
Be on top of this, right?
You know?
Exactly.
Exactly. So like when she, you know, I'm thinking she done lit they swords on fire. You feel me? She done get, you know, I'm thinking, all right, they about to go in there, they about to do some work. Man, it was like a match. You feel me? As soon as you hit that thing, and that thing blew them things completely out, boy. It was like 6 of them came running back.
Right. Exactly.
Now let me ask you something. Because I noticed a lot of people online, and even, you know, it was like that episode was very dark, like the cinematography.
Yeah.
Like the lighting was dark. Is it normally like that? Because, you know, the few episodes I've seen, it wasn't ever really that dark. But, you know, I don't know if they normally do they fighting scenes like that.
So I read an article recently that discussed that. Actually, before people started complaining, because this was just before the 3rd episode. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and bring them in. We normally don't bring folks in. I totally forgot to mention the number. If y'all want to call in, definitely give us a call at 657-383-1155. We normally open the lines at 10:15. But I see a number here that I recognize, so I'm pretty sure this is Damon. So I'm gonna bring Damon in.
Dang. Yo, what's going on?
Okay.
What's going on, brother?
Avenger lives matter.
Right, exactly. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, you know, the cinematography and the overall darkness of the show was discussed in this article, and basically they were saying that they had been progressively darkening the cinematography over time to kind of indicate this change in the season. And because it's now winter and it's generally dark in the winter, faster and that kind of thing, they kind of wanted to emphasize that. So they were saying how all these episodes are going to have a darker tone, and also because it's a dire situation, right? And shoot, I guess we're already going to talk about episode 4. If you look at the difference between episode 3 and episode 4 in the lighting, you'll notice there was a little bit extra lighting, and it was a little lighter in episode 4 because of the fact that the dire situation was over. So they were lightening it back up, and you know when they were in the party, even though they were completely enclosed, no natural light, they still had a lot more light in there than the previous episodes when they were getting ready for the battle. So it was more of a mood thing. Now, admittedly, it was super dark in that episode from the start. I mean, I watched what was it, what they call that? I watched the not DVR on demand. I didn't even watch it live. I was just watching it for the 3rd time. Anyway, I watched it on my tablet, right? And my tablet, I didn't realize my tablet had the lighting turned down for battery saving. But when I first started the episode, I couldn't even see it. Like, I couldn't see anything on the screen but people's teeth. I was like, what's going on? Like, you know, so I definitely feel you on the whole. It was dark. It was super dark. But I think, like, again, it was more for the mood. Once I lightened up my screen, I could see everything again. But but also, you know, to kind of indicate how dire the situation was. So I think it was all because of that. So I don't think we're going to see things that dark, you know, going forward, and definitely probably because of the complaints as well. They'll probably do something to enhance it, because I heard they've already removed the cup. If anybody knows about that situation, they've already removed the cup for all the on demand. Yeah, Starbucks had a what they call it, a cameo up in episode 4. So, but anyway,
way back then,
yeah,
huh?
I mean, right. I was like, yeah, you know, you win the war, you get Starbucks. I mean, it's how it's always been.
Now,
so,
I was hearing
going back
also.
to the show. Oh yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, like also, well, you know, online, you know, there's a lot of chatter, and I want to be honest with me too. I was a little disappointed. You know, I understood it, but I was still a little disappointed in the Night King. Like, you know, I wanted more action from him. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to be a little bit
action from him in this one.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I really wanted him to flex. You feel me? Really make it hard on him. You know what I mean? I did like the move. You feel me? When, you know, Jon Snow was running up on him. You know what I mean? He'd look back like, bro, are you serious? You know what I mean? And all these dead people, you know what I mean? He just raised the dead on him. Like, man, this
right.
That's what I like, bro. I ain't got time for him. You feel me? I thought that was ill, but I still wanted more from him. For some reason, I just wanted, you know what I mean, a little bit more action. You know what I mean? Him to flex his power a little bit more. I was a little disappointed, and I noticed online a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. The complaints were out there from people who kind of really took a step back and looked at the big picture here. You know, I did the same thing. That was my thing was. I felt like there was, you know, either parts that could have been, you know, more, like you said, more action or more, not really more action, but you know what I mean, more action from him, as well as interaction, I thought could have been a little bit more expanded on, you know. The Jon Snow situation, I really thought that he was going to face off with Jon and probably do a little battle in the hand, you know, show him what his power is like. Like you said, the raising the dead part to be expected, and but still was surprising and was still, like you said, it was all cold. You know, I was like, bro, like this, you know, he pretty much showed you like you don't even try to approach me, because you know anybody around you know could be brought up and now you got to face them too. So you know, I was kind of excited about that, but then disappointed, like you said, because I wanted him to really show off his skills. What you missed in previous episodes was him doing a couple of other things that, you know, either just him interacting with Bran or the Three-Eyed Raven, interacting with his troops or whatever. You know, I mean, they don't move a lot. They don't say anything. So there's, you know, I think that's a limit in there too. There's, you know, there's not like a white or a I always get it mixed up. I can't remember if it's the whites are the people running around or if it's the generals that. But anyway, his generals, they all kind of have their own little look, but they never really do anything other than command of the rest of the troops. So you know, that was, you know, I guess knowing that it was also to be expected. But I just wanted a little bit more of an interaction later, so we'll get to that in a second. Damon, I don't know. Are you into Game of Thrones? Do you watch that at all?
I am a couple of episodes behind you guys. I'm like on season 1, episode 1.
Okay, got you. Feel you. Just a few episodes. No. Just a few. Got you. Yeah, because I mean that's like 8 years ago, but no, that's cool.
No,
you can catch up.
I just never got into it. No, I just never got into it. Like, I'm not dissing it. Like, I don't dislike it. It's just, no, I only watch so many shows now.
It's not for everybody. Yeah, it's not for everybody. But yeah, so my thing about Game of Thrones season 8, episode 3 was just that, you know, I was expecting a lot from it, and probably more than what they were willing to give. Apparently more than what they were willing to give. And, I felt like you said, the big battle scene was going to be exciting in my mind. The interaction between the Three-Eyed Raven and the Night King, I thought that was going to be epic. Like, there was got to be something was going to come of this because we had so many questions. We needed answers, and we felt like we're going to get all the answers in this episode. There was all the theories about who was going to kill him and who was going to die, and people really felt like this was a situation that was going to be truly dire into the point of major character deaths. We were expecting multiple major character deaths. There was I'm trying to remember what else was a little bit disappointing. We had expectations. I think just the expectation that somebody was going to really step up and do something different than what they already are doing, right? And I mean, in regards to that, I think more that there was only a few people. There was Sansa, there was Samuel, Tyrion, and there was somebody else. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know I was looking forward to seeing Little Bear. That's the little girl who was the commander of Mormont's house. I can't think of the name of the thing right there at the top of my head. Right
Is
now,
she the one that stabbed the thing in the eye?
The general. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, I was expecting to see what she was going to do. Arya wanted to see what she was going to do. So, of course, Arya didn't disappoint, of course. Little Bear, I was looking for her to do a little bit more, but, I mean, to get picked up by a giant, crushed, and then you still take them out, that was dope. Like, I don't think anybody really knew or saw that coming. Like, everybody probably was figuring she was done. I was really about to be disappointed if he would have just ate her and took her out the game. That's what I thought was going to happen. And for her to do that, I was like, she was the G I knew she was, because she was like no joke. Like from the start, this little girl been a beast since day one, since we first saw her. So it's been this week. There was some expectations. So rolling back. The big battle. So, like you said, this was supposed to be the biggest and longest battle on film ever, right? Or battle sequence to be filmed ever. So, it was, and like you said, from the start, from the Dothraki running out there and getting burnt out to the to all the Unsullied that died and had to be sacrificed, to the fire lighting, to the dragons fighting, to the snowstorm. I mean, it was so much going on. It was hard to keep up sometimes, but it was exciting. It was action-packed. But I couldn't help, and especially when I thought about it later, when I kept really running the back of my mind, I couldn't help but be disappointed. And just the fact that because it was dark too, there was a lot of stuff happening I couldn't see. I couldn't see, or I couldn't follow. You know what I mean? You're fighting zombies as it is, so that's already going to be hard to follow. All the dog piling I thought was just, I was expecting it, but it was just too much. It was constant. It made the action not fake, but you know what I mean. It made the action fake to me because it was like, how do you really fight in a situation like that? You're just getting piled on, and some bodies that are dead, So it's like you can only stab so many people before somebody takes you out. And most of the people, especially the major players, are staying up in the game. And I just felt like that just was it just wasn't realistic in my mind. The other thing was the situation with the deaths. Not that I want my favorite characters to die, but I was expecting some tears. I was expecting some heartache behind this. I mean, Jorah, he's a major character.
Go ahead. I'm gonna keep it honest. It would have been dope. Like, when Arya killed him, it would have been dope if he killed Arya at the same. Like, if her and the other girl, like say the other girl that stabbed the giant in the eye,
Right.
Say if she would have lived, like say she survived, but you got Arya going up against the, the Night King. Like she wasn't supposed to get him, trick him like that easy, in my opinion.
Right.
You feel
right.
me?
Right. True.
Like you know what I mean? He wasn't supposed to fall for that, and she get him out. Like he caught her in the air. Like okay, if she did get him, like allow it to cost her life. Like she, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they couldn't kill her because, like she said like she said before, when the lady asked her, is it? She was like, not today. You feel me? We ain't doing that.
Oh yeah,
today.
yeah. What do we tell the Lord of Death? Yeah, she said, not today.
not today. Not today. You feel me? Like I get it.
And like you say, it was. Yeah, the stakes weren't high enough. The stakes just weren't high enough. It was. And the situation with the guy Jorah. So what you haven't gone through yet and seen is his progression and the things he's gone through. But there was at one point where he was about to die already. So the fact that he died in this episode didn't really make me sad. I just felt like this was kismet for him. He was gonna die anyway. It wasn't like we were expecting him to live that much longer. So his whole situation, to me, it was heroic. It was a great use of his character, but I wasn't like super sad behind it. And then the other part of it was the fact that I think he was the only major death in the him and his cousin, Little Bear, but they were the only major deaths out of all of them. The guy who was protecting Arya, I can never remember his name. People are probably gonna be mad, but he actually has been dead like 6 other times. Like that guy's been brought to life like all the time. He always dies and gets brought back to life. He's not coming back this time because his priest is gone, but he's already dead. So I mean, it's not like we're like, oh my God, he died. Like, bro, he's already dead. He's already been dead. He's only alive because the Lord of Light wants him to be alive. That was the only reason. And now we see his reason, and which was cool. To find out that was the reason. He was there to protect Arya, but it's still, once again, it wasn't major enough to make us feel it. I think
and I'm mad the cow was still alive.
What was the last thing
from season 1?
Which one? Oh, Sam. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why is he still alive? Like, why? What? Y'all don't get him out of here. Like, how he keep this fire? That's what I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he continues.
Yeah, he was dog fired a couple of times too. And right, it just kept it moving. A guy lost his life protecting him, and he's still going.
And he's still going. Like I just didn't. And like you said, when like the deaths, I mean, like some of the battle scenes, like when you said the Paranoid, it did remind me. I don't know, like you ever seen World War Z?
I heard of it. I've seen like a couple scenes of it. I've seen some of like the longer scenes. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
like
and it seems
zombies.
a little bit too.
Yeah, the super zombies.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit too. I don't know, CGI. I understand it is dead and this, but it just seemed, it's a way to make it look a little bit. It just seemed too fake to me. It seemed too cartoonish, so to speak. It seems kind of a little cartoonish there for me. Like, all right, now and like you said, they said like even with the Jon Snow when he was fighting all of them at the end, like they all surrounded. Like how you know what I mean? Like how they ain't pile on him.
Right, exactly.
And they all surrounded him, and he got one sword. You mean he backed all of them up off him like that? Like,
right.
Nah. Like I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
They were making it way too easy for him.
Yeah,
right. Making it way too easy. Yeah, but the things I did like about it, I think, were. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. What you gonna say? I was about to say since we got Dame on the line. I know he waiting for Avengers. He waiting for the Avengers talk.
Oh, right.
No,
right. Yeah, we're gonna get to Avengers. I'm checking the clock right now. So that's all I wanted to say. The things I did like, because we're not here to bash Game of Thrones. We love Game of Thrones, But the things I did like was just the fact that like I said, finding out why old boy was real, what his real purpose was, what the Lord like really had his purpose for him to be. Love that part, to find out that he was there to protect Arya. Melisandre coming back, like you said, that was an epic scene. Melisandre was around a couple of seasons ago, and she just kind of disappeared. And so seeing her come back was kind of like, wow, what's going on? And then seeing her do, those two epic scenes, with the fire and everything, that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, the little bear scene, seeing her take the giant out, that was dope. Arya's fight scenes were probably the best fight scenes out of the whole battle.
I agree.
The fact that, and then the fact that the strategy that was used wasn't the most sound, but the way that they used their people with the Unsullied in the front or behind the Dothraki and then moving them back. I think the strategies, I think were a little rocky, but I definitely was feeling them on how they was kind of how they were trying to at least protect everything. So I was feeling that because we've seen some very rocky strategies from these guys before. So seeing them being able to hold off a lot of the dead was kind of dope, and the fact that they did, at least realistically showed they couldn't do that anyway because the dead was just going to keep coming. It was just going to be more like, so that was like, wow, okay, I'm feeling that, so it wasn't super easy for everybody. They made it too easy for Jon. They made it too easy for Sam, but, they didn't make it too easy for everybody else. And, we did see a lot of people get taken out, and I think that overall, it was not the best use of the time I thought they had, that they could have, answered some more questions. I mean, at the end when Bran, took his nap and, pretty much didn't do anything, and the Night King, stole up on him, I was just like, man, I was really wanting something to happen right there. I wanted Bran to get up out the chair, knock him out, maybe say, good job, Night King. Yeah. You can rest now.
I didn't get that part.
Say something.
I didn't get that part.
They just staring at each other. They just don't kill Bran. I just was like, bro, what's really going on here? So but the one thing you haven't seen yet, Arya's skills. I feel you on the I expected a little bit more of a battle between the two of them, but Arya's skills, she is like that. She's probably the greatest assassin in that whole crew. So she is like that. It's just that, like you said, I still expected more from the Night King, in the end.
And then that's my only thing. And like with Arya, I knew Arya was nice. She that was the best thing with me going back and watching season 1, is that I understood when she gave her sister the knife, and her sister was like, I don't know how to use this. She was like, just stab, use this, you know what I mean? Use the pointy part,
Exactly.
Stab with the pointy part. And that was exactly what was told to her the first time, she was given the sword. Use the, you know what I mean? Right before she was trained. So I like how they tied that together. My favorite part about it, even though about the episode, and I know we all expect more, is like they got right to it. You feel me? Like that's what I like. You feel me? That's what I appreciate.
Yeah, there was no bumbling around stuff. No, they just was like, we here. It's time to go. Yep. It's time to do this. Yeah.
Let's get
to
it.
Episode 2 was for.
Exactly. So I appreciated that. I appreciate it because y'all built it up for a big fight scene, and that's all we got was fighting. So I'm like, all right, I do appreciate that. Even though I wanted a little bit more from the Night King, I appreciate it. Y'all got right to it, and it was continuous. It was continuous. It wasn't really many lulls in action. It wasn't really too many lulls in action. So, I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, it's a dope show, and I don't know where I rank it at among some of the best. Yeah, I really gotta, I still got some of my I still don't think it's better than Spartacus, but
okay, got you. Yeah.
No, I mean, but I definitely like it. I definitely like it.
Keep watching. You'll get it up there. You know, I mean, the last thing I want to say before we flip over to the end game is I think that really the culmination of the years of waiting for answers to this kind of just disappointed me in that part, but I do still hold out hope that these last 2 episodes are going to just redeem it, as well as bring some closure to some other questions that really are the other bigger questions. So I think it's really gonna really bring it full circle. I think it's because generally their second from last episode is always either their most exciting or their most revealing. So I think we're in for a treat this episode coming up. Then again, they do only have 1 more episode total for the whole series, so they could hold off until that final episode. But I just really feel like they're going to do something epic in this second from last episode to really just satisfy the fans. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to
so,
check that, y'all. That's huge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's flip over to Endgame. Since we did most of the talking, Clint, if you don't mind, I'm going to let Damon start us off talking about Avengers Endgame. Damon, all right, so it's your turn. I'm just going to preface it with the fact that, this was 10 years and 21 other movies, or 22, 21 other movies in the making. So,
11 years, 23 films.
11 years, yeah. Right. So what did Endgame do for you?
It answered some questions, and it also posed more questions. Maybe spoilers for the lead-off for the next phase of the Avengers. Like, I'm not sure how far in depth y'all want to go into this because, we only got an hour show. So,
right.
So, the Russos had a list on the.
Tell us. Let's stick to the movie. We'll stick to the movie for now. We'll discuss the future and the after show. So, just sticking to this movie, how do you think this movie did with, like you said, answering the questions, the excitement factor, the character, the character closures? Like, how do you feel this kind of summed up the Infinity Saga?
I overall liked it. The character development wasn't too slow, and for a 3-hour movie, it didn't feel like a 3-hour movie. Like, I want to bash another franchise I really grew up and loved is Star Wars. How, the original trilogy, was like 2 hours and some odd minutes. It didn't feel long, but, after a certain time, you like, okay, when's the grand climax going to happen? When's the fight scene? When's lightsaber battle going to happen?
Right.
This movie left you like, that's it? The movie's over? I was waiting for some more action. Right. I'm waiting, so on that was a letdown just because I wanted more, even though they gave me enough, if that made any sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, that was good. The character development, the arc, they didn't introduce any new characters, so they didn't have to spend any extra time on explaining a character's powers and yada, yada, yada. So the movie went along pretty fast for that aspect. Start from the beginning. They found Tony Stark. The beginning of Endgame was 5 years prior, I guess, was it after the snap?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how.
Like,
it was
23 days. Yeah, it was
23 days after the snap. And Tony and Steve, they still had their falling out. Steve passed out. But Tony passed out. They went to go fight Thanos. And Thor, like you said, 23 days later, he remembered, go for the head. And Thanos lost his head at the beginning. I mean,
Clint, I know you had some feelings about how this movie kind of progressed. What was your thoughts on the overall movie, how it summed up the Infinity Saga, and your thoughts about how the pace of it went.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was disappointed. I was disappointed, and overall, like when we discuss this, I do my rating scale on a 10. I gave it a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, in the beginning, first of all, Captain Marvel was irrelevant. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they hyped her up. I thought she was going to be more involved in this movie. I guess that's where a lot of my disappointment come from too. I thought she was going to be more of a major character within this particular Endgame movie, and she really wasn't.
Right.
So that took something away from me. I'm like, well, what was the point of all of that? You know what I mean? Like, but then how initially, because he brought it up, they went and they chopped Thanos' head off in the beginning, but like that was like just too easy. Like it seemed like too simple. I understand he was weakened from using the Infinity Stones, but like y'all just got him and dismissed him too easy for me. So that's why I knew it was kind of telling that okay, they got rid of Thanos that easy in the beginning. It got to be some way that his character is going to reemerge in this story. So automatically I was like, all right, yeah, they're going to have to go back in time. Something's going to have to happen. I was like, so I already, the movie, it started unraveling to me immediately. You know what I mean? Then I was highly disappointed, and in a way, it's like basically y'all telling me a rat saved the world. That's what y'all telling me.
Dang.
You feel me? You know what I mean? I almost threw my nachos. I'm like, this is what y'all telling me? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You feel me? Just so happened a rat hit a button by accident, and the Ant-Man pop out, and then oh man, this fire. No, it's only 5 hours for me. And then y'all figure it out. so it's like, so everything is random. That's what y'all telling me. That's what the movie telling me. It's like that whole thing was random, because if that rat don't walk on the machine, we have no movie. We have no story.
Yeah, I felt like that sequence should have been more like maybe if nothing else, just something else would have triggered that. Maybe it's sitting in there for so long that it eventually just rebooted and said, initiate some sequence that automatically starts it up, or maybe something. It should have been something more. It really should have been a little more impactful. But yeah, that whole randomness of that was just that was a little too cheap for me too. I did get a little disappointed with that. I was like, what? On my second watch, I really kind of noticed that. I was like what? Like really? Like this is how we saving the world? Was that in Doctor Strange's vision?
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? And then like I said, I like how they did Captain America's. I like the contrast between how they ended Captain America's character and Tony Stark's character. One was searching for life because with Captain America, he was searching he wanted to live his life. He never got a chance to live his life, so he was searching for that. Mm-hmm. And Tony Stark, he the egotistical. He threw out all this, and for him to sacrifice himself was his greatest gift. You feel me? That was him coming full circle. He's been so self-centered, so he sacrificed himself for everybody. So I guess that's how you end, culminate their stories. But I still don't like how, like I understand the culmination of how you ended the character, but I don't like how you showed it to me. You feel me?
About him on a bench chilling, or
yeah, like he just leave and then come back and he old now, and then homeboy like, you gonna tell me about her? He's like, no. I'm like, are you serious? What's going on here? You feel me? Like what? Like that's just nobody see him just pop up. So me and my sister was trying to like, okay, did he just come to the bench because he knew they was gonna be there already in the future, or like did he?
right.
Like did the machine just put him there? Like what happened? Like how he get there?
Right.
I haven't got to that part.
That part. I think
on spoilers.
Say that again, Willie.
Yeah, I think. No, I was about to say. I think. I think with that part of it, it's it was definitely supposed to be that he knew they were going to be there. I just don't understand how those two timelines were able to merge. There's a video, somebody's trying to explain it. I'm like, I'm not even going to waste my time watching that video because it's all going to be conjecture anyway. The thing is the way that was supposed to be able to even happen brings up a whole nother list of questions. A lot of people just ask me like, so does that mean that he just let all this stuff happen and never became a superhero? And just,
exactly.
and how does that affect their timeline if he's in the same timeline as them? Or did he somehow jump back through with the PIM particles and be able to come back from whatever time he came back to get there? But he didn't hit the stage, so like how did he get there? So it did open up a bunch of other questions. I also kind of felt like they really probably should have kind of just left that part out. I think he should have somehow passed the torch to what's my man named Falcon. I felt like he should have passed the torch in a different way, and then took the stones back, and they just showed that ending when he was dancing with Peggy. I think they should have just left it at that. I don't think they should have had him come back to the future or come back to that timeline and be talking to them. I think they should have left that part out. That should have been on the cutting floor. The other complaints that you had, I think definitely valid. Me. I was excited about the movie. I was very, very excited and very happy with what they did, from the respect of I felt like they needed to close a lot of loops. They needed to answer a lot of questions. They needed to give us some closure on some things. They needed to kill a couple people off. I was not expecting Natasha to die. I was not expecting her to be one of the casualties, especially because they kind of tricked us with the whole Black Widow TV show coming to Disney Plus. So now it turns out that's probably going to be a prequel, or maybe another reality. Who knows? There's, the Loki situation. I thought that was pretty cool. That now because he's got the Tesseract, he's popped out of that timeline because of everything they did. It kind of opens the door for Loki to come back now. Gamora, seeing how she came back, I liked how they did that, because I thought it was going to be some BS if they would have brought her back from the dead. I was like, that should not be allowed to happen. But being that they brought her to the future through the time warp, that makes more sense now for her to be able to be in Guardians 3. Like I think David was probably trying to allude to, is that that's also going to give us a peek into what Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be about. Is there going to be an As Guardians of the Galaxy? I kind of feel like there is. I feel like Chris is not done, and that he's going to want to continue with the Thor character. On top of the fact of the popularity between Ragnarok and Infinity War that he's gained, I think that that character should continue and should continue to have movies, or at least be in other movies.
But they just signed him for 5 more movies. Thor.
Oh, really?
And he will be in.
Okay. Dope.
And he will be in the next Guardians of the Galaxy. is a reason for that because, in all honesty, since they're hinted toward, let's see, Adam Warlock, he would be the only person strong enough to go against Adam Warlock because Adam Warlock would just tear the Guardians of the Galaxy a new one. You know what I'm saying?
Apart, exactly. Yeah. And did you see Guardians of the Galaxy, Clint?
Yes. Those,
okay, yeah.
I actually regard the Galaxy better.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I actually like Guardians of the Galaxy, the last one, better than this one, better than the Endgame.
Oh, really?
I appreciate
that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But that was a great movie. I appreciate it too. I think part one was better than part two, but I think part two was still a great movie. I think it was still up there with some of the better MCU movies. So yeah, definitely. What they call it, the cocoon at the end. That's Adam Warlock's cocoon. That those perfect beings, when they were saying they're going to make the most perfect man, that's who's cooking in the cocoon. Sorry, people who listen and who may not know this was also going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy star spoiler. Anyway, so and then the, like you said, the full circle of everything. I really, I mean, the importance of Ant-Man definitely did not see this happening when I first watched Ant-Man. I didn't really understand where he was going to fit in. So I didn't understand the importance of Ant-Man. I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp as a movie and as them continuing that series. So I'm looking forward to an Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, whatever you want to call it. I'm really looking forward to them continuing. So their importance in this series, I felt like was a huge deal. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed that part of it. But I have to agree. I didn't think about it until you just mentioned it. The Captain Marvel piece, I felt too. Now that you mention it, that it was not really. It wasn't worth the hype. It wasn't as hyped up as it was. I mean, they literally could have introduced her, made up whatever they wanted to make up, and then just you know what I mean? Just
exactly.
Let her do whatever, or just not even have her in it. Like, she really didn't serve the greatest purpose in this movie. I think that it felt rushed now to say that they put her, that they did the other movie in order to introduce why she was going to be in the last battle. But like you said, she didn't really serve much of a purpose. I mean, yeah, she wouldn't got Tony. I mean, who else could have did that? Maybe nobody. Because they, trying to find her would have been almost impossible. So that part, I guess, it kind of, was able to answer that. And then the situation with what's the whole what they call it with the sorry, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. The situation with the whole watching the world and watching the galaxy or watching the universe, that part, and there's a reason for that. Between the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show and the coming movies, we're going to see more of why it's important for her to be out there. Her purpose, I think, is going to be better served in the future and going to be better represented in the future. This movie, I don't really think it took advantage of that. So yeah.
And that's my point. I'm like, you feel me? Just like her movie, just like Captain Marvel, because we didn't even get a chance to dive into Captain Marvel when that dropped. It didn't really let her flex.
Right.
That's my issue.
They're just trying to introduce another character. That's all they were just trying to do.
And my thing is, you wasted our time. You spent too long introducing her character. It's like, all right, it's not the comic book. We got common sense. Get to it. You know what I mean? Like, get to it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Break it down for us real quick. You feel me? And then let her flex. Let her really show her muscle. Well, and then go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, look, I'm a rebut you on this one. The one thing I did notice about Captain Marvel, all right, spoiler alert for Captain Marvel. Spoiler alert for the whole MCU from this point. The one thing I did appreciate or understood from Captain Marvel is I think they were doing the same thing they did with every other character that they've ever done a single movie. Because think about Black Panther as a movie. Compare it to Civil War. Compare it to Civil War and his introduction to Civil War. They did a much better job representing who he was, his power level, his importance in Civil War than they did in the Black Panther movie, in my opinion. But we also got a little more history. We got a little more background on the people around him. We got way more background on all his troops, the people that he trusts. So it was more to get us into his world, and I think that's what the Captain Marvel movie really did for us. Her world is very small, but it got us into the world of understanding who the Skrulls were, or the Krulls were rather, who the Kree are, as well as getting a backstory and a better introduction to really who Nick Fury really is. So I think it did a lot for that. So I think I appreciated it for that part of it, because we still have to get into the world of who Captain Marvel is, because going forward we're going to be introduced to more of her, what she does out there. So all the conjecture and all the secrecy about what she's doing, or the vagueness that she has. She's always saying, "Well, I'm out here, protecting the rest of the universe because they don't have people like y'all." So they're gonna expand on that. We're gonna get to see that. So I think having that first movie allowed us to get all of that out the way, so that all these future movies can be better set up to just get right to it a little bit more. Than having to, find out about her. And that's one thing I hate about Batman movies. Every Batman movie is like, here, let us tell you about this guy named Bruce Wayne. Like, fuck, we know who the fuck BruceAne is. Stop telling us about who Bruce Wayne is.
I don't know whose parents died more in movies than his.
Say that again?
Well,
I said, I don't know whose parents died more in more movies than his is Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
He has the worst.
Exactly.
He has the worst beginning of every movie.
It's like but I think that's what they're doing. They're giving us that up front, I think that's part of it, but like you said, I just think that it just was probably not necessary, as well as her presence was just not necessary in Endgame. It just didn't really, for what they hyped up for her to be like, oh, she's the most powerful Avenger, and she's this and she's that, and then she shows up and she held her ground a little bit there. She did some things, but she based her power level against Thanos was basically what Thor's was. Thor had the ability to kind of hold him off a little bit, almost and Captain America. I think that kept Captain America down is he's just not as strong. He couldn't take a punch as good as the other two. He had to use the whole Power Stone against Captain Marvel to get her off of him. But and what's my girl named Scarlet Witch? She got a power level up when she went against them. So I think it was unnecessary for her to really beat it.
Well, Captain Marvel, they're introducing more of the space features, characters.
Yeah, exactly. This
from the comic books in the future.
Side of Marvel, that's why she's there.
Right, they're going more for the Eternals, for those people who are keeping score. As far as Captain Marvel, yes, they could have built her up a little bit better or wrote her in, but I think the movie would have been overkill, and you wouldn't have gotten the closure and the emotion from us losing Scarlet Witch and Tony sacrificing himself. Scarlet Witch. Black Widow. I'm sorry.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, that's probably why.
I'm thinking Scarlett Johansson when she sacrificed herself, and when Tony sacrificed himself at the end, because she got knocked out, and and Hulk only had one more arm left, so and Robert Downey Jr. said he's not doing it no more.
I agree with you.
So I'm gonna let you have this one, Clint. Go ahead and bring the Hulk into this too. the disappointment in the Hulk.
Oh, he was a big disappointment. I'm not like. I mean, just because I love the movie doesn't mean it didn't have its faults and plot holes in the movie.
I ain't want the Hulk to be my comic relief. It's like they're making the character out of the Hulk. You feel me? It's like you feel me? It's like they diminishing the Hulk's true powers. Like really, the Hulk can't do nothing with the Hulk. Really, Thanos. Only reason why Thanos beat the Hulk is because Thanos is a better fighter. You feel me? It's not like that he was stronger than the Hulk. Hulk rage getting his way. That's why he. I mean, so it's like y'all do trying to make him the comic relief and all that. It's like you diminishing his true. You know what I mean? Like it's diminishing. It's diminishing his character. Yeah, it's true potential. And the thing is, like, y'all right about Captain Marvel, but that's the reason why. Like, I mean, dang, you right about Captain Marvel, but that's the reason why I feel like she was irrelevant. You feel me? Because if you really can't flex, because it's going to deflect from like the movie. You know what I mean? But then, like, we don't need you. We don't need to see you in this aspect, so to speak. All right, they showed you go get Tony. All right, we need you for that. And then you could have been like, well, I got other stuff. You know what I mean? I gotta go. I gotta go dip. Like you did. You dipped for 5 years. You just popped back up. I don't even know who called you. Right. You feel me? How you know we fighting again?
Got your number again?
Like universes away. So you know what I mean? But you just pop back up. All right, it's cool. You know what I mean? You pop back up from universes away, and you barely, you know what I mean? Like Thanos, you know what I mean? Kind of got the upper hand on you.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like nah, it ain't supposed to work like that. It ain't supposed to work like that. I mean, if you pop back up, I expect you to do damage. You know what I mean? I expect you to do extreme damage. If not, fall back.
Right.
We understand you universes away, helping everybody else. You know what I mean? We
right.
We good. You know what I mean?
I think what I did like about the movie too. Yeah, I think what I did like about the movie too was especially in the time heist part was all the callbacks to the old movies. You know, I really enjoyed that a lot. Seeing the old sets, the old characters. You know, the battle scenes in those were dope in terms of him Captain fighting Captain. I thought that was dope. The elevator scene, that right there, that had me excited, cracking up, everything, because I was like, bro, like, what are they really gonna do with this scene? You know, because you know that was the same scene where he had to fight all of those guys. And I was just like, man, like, or not the same. I don't think it was the same timeline, but it was the same elevator look. You know, they were in that same little tower, and I'm like, man, like, how he gonna play this with? You know, then when he said Hail Hydra, I lost it because I'm like, you know, they played on the whole Hydra, Captain America arc and everything. You know, so that was dope. The situation with Tony and his dad in the 70s. And them getting the particles and the Tesseract at the same time. I really like that, you know, just because I wanted him to have that time, you know, with his dad and be able to have that conversation because if anybody remembers, what was it called, the blep or the blab or whatever, when he was trying to have that whole conversation with his dad in that simulated environment, you know. Some people thought they were going to use that simulated environment in this movie, but I think that was really a foreshadowing for him being able to actually have that conversation with his father and him to actually be able to say something to him, you know, or have his father be able to say something to him that made him, you know, be able to feel like he had a little closure with his dad. So I really like that part. You know, I think some people felt like it was filler. Some people felt like, you know, all that extra stuff that was going on during Time Heist was unneeded, but I thought that was big.
That made
the go ahead.
No, I was saying that made that whole human element because if I could go back in time and have a conversation with my father, I will really relish in that time because he died when I was younger, and to be a grown up with a family of my own now, to pick his mind on how he felt, his honest opinion, because you're gonna be more honest with a stranger than you are with your loved one about certain things, certain fears. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not
vulnerable to the family. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because you don't want to seem too vulnerable, and you're not going to care about their opinion as much because they're a stranger. You're only going to meet them this one time, and it's like, you know what? Let me get a good sense of what do you think about life, and because most family and close ones will be tactful or be too blunt. You know what I'm saying? So. It was kind of refreshing for him to open up to Tony about, like, hey, yeah, I'm scared to death about this kid, yada yada yada.
Right.
So he got the chance to see another side of his father that he never saw before because his father was really tough on him growing up. So for that story arc to end like that was good. As far as Tony, you had closure on his end.
I agree with you. I appreciated that part. Like you said, Dame, it brought the human element to it. You feel me? Because if anybody else had the chance to do that, they'd probably take advantage of it too. So, the people complaining about that, I don't understand why. Because that's, you feel me? It gives you a much more in-depth look in his life and into his feelings, and then it kind of makes sense. He does what he does at the end by sacrificing himself. You know what I mean? That conversation had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? So, it all tied in. That's one of, like you said, that's one of the things I thoroughly enjoyed about the movie. That scene right there. Even with Captain, like I said, I appreciate how, they ended their characters like that. You know what I mean? But you feel me? So you know what I mean? Like it all tied in together. I appreciated that.
You know what would make Captain America's ending better? If he would have listened to Ant-Man and did the whole Back to the Future reference, had somebody like deliver the shield to him and leave a note saying that what he did in the past left the people wondering, and then show Peggy and Cap dancing at the end and just fade it out like that. That would have been a good homage to two different franchises,
That would have been dope too. That would have been. I would have liked. I would have liked if the Fury at the end, right?
Mhm.
Now explain to me where I'm missing, because at the end of Captain Marvel, she pops up and says, "Where's Fury?" Right?
Mhm.
How did that tie in? This is what I want to know. How did that tie into this movie? Because wasn't that supposed to tie into this?
The end credit was just her
at the end credits. Yeah,
it was just end credits. Her introducing herself. It was a way of her introducing herself to the Avengers.
Okay.
And then when she found Tony, brought him back home with Nebula, it kind of like, okay, everybody's back together. Now she's going to kill Thanos, and everybody's going to, hey, let's go with you because we're about this too.
Okay. Because I really didn't, because
that was an after credits thing that showed that.
Okay. Because I was trying to tie it in. I'm like, all right, well then, how did that? What did that tie into this movie? But I didn't really see the correlation.
Right.
And then, and as far as like the what's her name? You just said it, Gamora.
Mhm.
Oh, Gamora.
Oh, yeah. So, what happened? Where did she go?
Oh, God. She didn't have no.
Well, I think.
Remember
I think she's stuck in the future. So she probably somehow either decided to stay on or not decide, but she probably stuck on Earth or I don't know if all of the ships were if any of the ships had some kind of pod or another a way of escaping out, but she could have taken one of those leftover ships that came through. She might even have her dad's ship, because I think the ship was fine. It was just
the ship got destroyed.
That wasn't his ship, was it? I think that was
the one that was getting that was shooting at Captain Marvel. Yeah, the one that was shooting at Captain Marvel. That one got toast.
Oh, I thought that was a different ship. Why did I see that movie 3 times and didn't realize that was his ship? Because he got the
that was his.
Ship. So anyway, but there was other ships that came through the portal before they closed that portal up. So he could have taken anything and shot back out to outer space, unless she's still there on Earth. I don't know, but I doubt it because I think they were looking for her at the end. So yes, I guess she probably grabbed one of the ships and bust out. So. She probably being in the future, she probably just only know where some stuff where she been before, but she got the whole universe at her disposal at this point.
Well, this is why that crap. Sorry, cut my phone. This is why that the plot holes or leading off to extra stories comes into play. Remember, this is Gamora that came from the past. She has no allegiance to the Guardians with Quill and the rest of those guys because she doesn't know them or have any feelings toward them. So that's why she wasn't there at the end. And this would be a good story arc for her to go down and, for the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie because she's alive. The only allegiance she has is to her sister at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. My thing is that they just had her disappear. Like they ain't even give a hint that she was leaving or that she was going to dip out.
No, I kind of like that though.
True. I mean, I guess if you look at it, like if you comparing it, if you looking at her building her character as far as the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise go. You feel me? If I'm looking at it through that lens, all right. Well, they just want her. You feel me? They building that for that. But as far as that movie is like, all right, she punched, she kicked dude. I mean, get off me. I don't know you. And then she just disappeared. Next time they show him, he looking at the screen searching for her.
Mhm.
Right. But yeah, that's his girl. He want to get her back. I don't know how you gonna pull that one off because I think everything they went through in the first movie is what really sealed their relationship. She really didn't really like him like that, until the very end of the first movie. So, how he's gonna try to figure out how to win her back, that's gonna be a tough one. They're gonna have to go through something else together. Maybe the conflict with Adam Warlock will bring them back together somehow. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, how that all plays out. But I guess the question I wanted to ask you guys was, which scene was like the most exciting scene to you? Like what had you like, bro? This movie is just. I mean, this scene was just over the, just really sent you over for that, over the top rather for that part of the movie.
The end, the fight scene, the 20-minute fight scene when everybody came out.
Part of it, like what scene? But
Cap when he picked up Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
My favorite part is, when I forget her character name, but the one that had Thanos, she was like took everything from me.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Took everything. Yeah, took everything from me. Thanos,
I don't even know you.
I don't even know you.
You will.
About to. You will.
Right.
And she had. Right. And she had him faded. She had him faded. She was like, that was my favorite part because he looked at his boy. He was like, man, torch this place.
Rain fire.
Rain fire. Rain fire.
Right.
But our troops.
I can't help it.
But our troops, sir. Nigga, don't you see she about to kill me?
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of those nigga please moments.
Mm-hmm. Because, I always liked her character. Always liked her character.
Yeah.
You feel me? Especially since she lost her brother. You feel me? In the previous movie, she lost her brother. So I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? She was right. She was like, you took everything from me. So I got you. You know what I mean? She mastered her powers. You could tell she got stronger with her powers. You know what I mean? So and then it made sense that she would be the one that could get him because, in Infinity War she really could have ended it all earlier. Right.
Mm-hmm.
By just killing Vision.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like all this could have been avoided. You know what I mean? But she didn't want to kill Vision.
Well, no, she did.
No, she did, but it was too late. You know what I mean? It was too late.
Yeah, it was too late. He was already there with the time stone, so it was a wrap.
Yeah.
Nobody even thought about that. He thought about it. He knew, but nobody else had even thought about that. And so yeah. But I think that was like you said, that was another moment for me where it was like, man, talk about watching somebody grow. I think her character, she's probably had some of the best growth as a character throughout all these movies. From a power standpoint as well as from a emotion standpoint. Not all of them. A lot of the characters have grown through these movies as well. But she's been a good one, especially for a character who hasn't had a lot of spotlight. But we've only got to see so much of her in each movie. We still were able to watch her grow. From when we first saw her in Avengers 1 all the way up until, at the end of Avengers 1 all the way up until now. So I think my favorite scene definitely was when Cat grabbed Mjolnir. That right there was like, it's like, excitement level was like on 100 right there for me for that one. And watching him fight with it was like, just really did it, you know what I mean? Because he was getting Thanos with the moves, it was like he watched everything Thor did and then did it on top of his whole shield situation. Like he was definitely getting them. I mean, I just wish Cap was a little stronger. He probably would have held his own a little bit better with Thor. I mean, with Thanos rather, if he would have had a little bit, a little more strength, cosmic strength than the rest of them. Definitely that scene with Scarlet Witch was up there, and then the girl power scene because I had predicted. Oh yeah. I want to put that out there. I had already predicted Pepper Potts was going to come in as Iron Rescue. I'd already predicted that, and that was that was an exciting one to me too, just because like I said, I really like Wasp. I really like what's her name, Scarlet Witch, and Gamora's definitely been one of my favorite characters. So seeing them all team up, on that part was dope. So in terms of emotions, with all this week, we all guys, we're gonna put our emotions on the table right now. What scene had you the most emotional in this movie?
I could tell you what I didn't like about the movie though. Like
you don't want to put your emotions out there? What's up with that?
Later.
He's deflecting.
What I didn't like was Hulk, like Clint said, because Worldbreaker, they can't afford the Worldbreaker Hulk to come into the play because he would just destroy the world and destroy Thanos, and there would be no good movie. I didn't like the way they did Thor. I mean, because he's Asgardian. They live for thousands.
The god
Fat
of
Thor? No.
snacks.
The god of snacks. No, the Fortnite player. That was funny. But but the fat Thor kind of made me mad because of Asgardians should have more resilience and better stamina than humans. And after 5 years, he got that fat off beer alone and drinking. That kind of made me mad because Asgardians should have a better stamina than that because they live for thousands of years. Yeah, that's pretty much in. The healing factor for the Hulk. That kind of made me mad because he should have been able to heal.
Yeah,
well, I think they might bring that up later. I think he'll be okay in a future movie off of the whole I got this healing factor thing, and so yeah, I don't think that's gonna be perfect.
And that dang on rat. I forgot about the rat.
Yeah,
that rat.
All right.
With me,
what was an emotional side for you? What got your emotional side out?
I don't know if it really would. I would say got me emotional, but I felt him. I felt Tony Stark when he, going to talk to his dad. When you had a tumultuous relationship with your father, you get a chance to, see him outside of the element. He not know who you is, to have, to see him open up and talk about you, not knowing that's you. You know what I mean? So, because I thought that's why I dig that scene. I thought that was dope because with me, losing my pop, I would love a situation like that. Anybody who lost his father, would love a situation like that. So I thought that was dope. Trying to think of any other situations where, I guess you could, when Thor got to go see his mom, I guess on the flip side, when Thor got to go see his mom, and he knew, and he had a chance, he could have saved her. You feel me? But it would have messed everything up. He knew what was going. She basically, and I think she knew too. You feel me? She told her, I'm a witch. How you know? You know what I mean? I know. You know what I mean? And she looked at him and said, I could tell you having a rough time. And I guess those was the two scenes. I could say would get you thinking, draw some emotion out of me. Outside of that,
right.
You?
Yeah, I would definitely say the Tony and his dad scene. I think that was probably one of the more emotional scenes because like you said, that whole situation with the father, with being a father, and I know how me and my father had our tumultuous times, and like you said, having that chance to really wrap it and chop it up with your dad, it's like, wow, that would be dope, and seeing him be able to get that closure was great. Totally forgot. I mean, I forgot, but totally didn't think about the Thor and mom scene. But that and thinking about that, it makes me realize that this was a very revealing thing too, because Thor lost his dad and his mom. So watching him have to revisit this whole situation with the mother, where I think he got that closure with his dad, because during that one scene when they were in Ragnarok, where they were, he got to talk to his dad. His dad, knew he was about to pass into the oblivion, and he was able to have that conversation with his dad. But that conversation with his mom, he never got a chance to have. And being able to have that conversation, you're right. That was huge. And then of course the very end, seeing my man RDJ get take out the game, seeing 11 years of the saga of Iron Man come to a close. 22 movies to tell a man's story. You gotta appreciate that, And I think that we haven't seen the last of his Iron Man suits. We still got Rhodey. Maybe Pepper will show up somewhere again. with her iron rescue suit. We got, Morgan. She's still around. She's quite possibly can take up the mantle. And then our boy Peter Parker, the Iron Spider. So I'm looking for that legacy to continue. And I definitely, that's one thing. I think that's another reason I gave this movie a 9. Because I felt like they answered a lot of questions. They opened the door for a lot more in the future, but they also told some stories and ended some stories well. I felt like I wanted more for Natasha, for Black Widow, but I didn't expect this to be her end, but to see her emotions at the beginning of the movie, it was like, man, she needed to make that sacrifice play. She needed a chance to really shine in a moment for herself. The Soul Stone scenes, both of them, hers and Gamora's, didn't really turn any real emotions for me, but I felt like that was really her chance, and I felt like I was happy that they gave her that chance to do that, to make that sacrifice for what she really wanted to do. She's always been trying to look for when can I make a sacrifice play? When can I be the one to save the day? And I think that was her chance, and she did her part. So I think she's as a character, she's had the satisfaction of doing that. And so the movie in general had a lot of emotions, a lot of laughing, a lot of excitement. I think in a talk we were having, a sidebar we were having, Clint, you mentioned how I think that was you that mentioned this, how Infinity War was way more exciting because there was more action scenes, and I definitely agree with that. But I also feel like there was so much of a story to be told in this movie that kind of trumps that. The excitement is nice. The action scenes are great. But I think when you want to bring a 22 movie story to an end, what did somebody call it? The world's most expensive TV show. When you really want to bring that series to an end, is you definitely want to have it close some gaps in the previous season, in the season. You know what I mean? You wanted to tell some stories, to make people laugh, make people cry, make people feel those, all the emotions we've had over the years. I mean, there's been some big emotions. One. What's that?
Hawkeye and his family.
Oh, that got me at the beginning.
At the very beginning.
At the very beginning,
you're right. Yeah, I meant to mention that. Yeah, you're right. I meant to mention that. That was because and what was crazy about that, I felt like I knew that was coming at the beginning. I was like, they're gonna have to tell why he wasn't around, but then also why he's gonna change into this assassin. But to show it, I was like, bro, like wow, like man, like
that's another thing that made me mad. Will, who puts mustard on hot dogs?
Everybody puts mustard on hot dogs.
I'm sorry, mayo. I'm sorry.
What was mayo? Oh yeah, the mayo. I want to say what?
That's why they got the snap.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The mayo on hot
That's
dogs.
why they got the snap.
I was like, I think that was. That's why they got the snap. Oh damn. I think that was what they call it when you I think that was an ad lib by mistake. I bet you somebody they meant to say something else, and he was like, "We're having hot dogs." I was like, I bet you they kept that in. That was probably somebody messed up their script.
Yep, improv. Yep.
And that wasn't improv. Yeah, there you go. They were improv, and then somebody blew that one. They were like, "Oh shoot, that's right. We're having hot dogs."
I totally forgot about that until you brought up, comparing the two scenes for the when Black Widow and Gamora scene. That's when it hit me. I'm like, yeah, man, Hawkeye, because oh man, and then like because you think when you lose your family like that, like man, that'll send you over the edge. that'll send you over the edge. And that's where he was at. He was out there. He trying to kill every bad guy that he can find. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for her, that sacrifice was just as much for her, but as for him as well. You feel me? I think she loved him. She had a certain love for him, like a brother, and she wanted to give him that chance to see his family again.
Well, that too, because she didn't have a future in the MCU. Think about it. If Hawkeye would have sacrificed himself for him, and he would have got a chance to see his family grow and thrive, and if Natasha would have lived, she had no real future because her early story, she was sterilized. So if she would have went back with Bruce Banner, they would have just been two people banging. Like, they would have no future, no kids, nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, and I think, see how, like Willie said, her character evolved. Until her climax was perfect, because you just mentioned that, and it's crazy because I was just watching that particular movie the other day too, when she was saying she was sterilized. You feel me? So yeah, right. I forgot all about that. I need to tie that in. She really didn't have enough left to give. You know?
Exactly.
She really ain't had nothing else to give. And that's why she was so emotional. Yeah, that was dope. It was, like I said, the biggest thing though, you feel me? You know what I mean? Like, it just turned me off with the rat. It was like, it just turned me.
The world was saved because of the rat.
Listening? No more rats. We're done with that. Yeah, can't be having that. No more random objects saving the universe. We can't be having that. That's ridiculous. We got all these characters, and you gonna have a rat saving the universe.
And to be honest with you, it really didn't need to be 2 hours and 49 minutes or whatever it was. You feel me? Like, it still had a little fluff in it. It really didn't need to be. I think they could have trimmed it down a little bit, but like I said, I like how they got all the stories out. But when we comparing them to like these high markings, like you said, you gave it a 9, and I'm trying to compare it to Winter Soldier, and I'm like, man, that it's not even on Winter Soldier level. And like Winter Soldier, like, to me, like an 8.5, 9. It ain't perfect. Right. It ain't a 10.
Yeah, I mean, Winter Soldier is a 9 for me as well. It's probably, and I probably feel like, as a story, it's way better than everything in the MCU. It's the best story in the MCU, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, for the closure I got out of Endgame, for the character deaths, for the all that stuff. I think that's why I gave Endgame. And I could probably walk it back a little bit, give it an 8.5. I can definitely give it an 8.5 to signify that
You got like a minute and a half left.
Oh shit! My girl in my ear now about time. So I guess we gotta wrap it up, guys. Go ahead, Clint. Give us your info, brother.
Y'all know where y'all can hit me at on my blog, kingstruth.com. I'll be back on my social media site soon. So my Twitter is at @eTrentonGroomy, and Instagram is KingStruth609.
All right. Thanks again, Damon, for joining us. Everybody can get at me at Willie Styles everywhere, STYLEZ, WillieStyles.info for all my links. Make sure to check us out, teespring.com/store/GFT Radio for our merchandise. Our website is blogtalkradio. You already know about that. Our website is GFTradioshow.com. You can get us at our social media sites at GFT_radio on Twitter and Instagram, or at GFT Radio on Facebook. Shout out again to Sonny. Sorry you didn't make it into the car, Sonny. Hope you're having a good time. Getting your stuff taken care of. We love you. And thanks for everybody that's joined us on here. Listen to our replays on YouTube, on Google Play Music, on iTunes podcast as well.
SoundCloud.
Hopefully you guys will. What do you need to do, Clint?
See y'all in 7 days.
Avengers Lives Matter.